It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast. On this, what is today? 22nd day of August, 2025, coming to you from my studio in Forest, Virginia, brought to you by Will U.S., the owner of Scoot Around, and by Chillie's Cruises. All right, so let's run over the headlines today, and then I'll get to some personal information that came up yesterday. The lead story this morning is Las Vegas tourism slumps in June. Also today, a brawl erupts over late night chicken tenders. That's a great subject to have a brawl over. Passenger dies on Marella Voyager. Fraudulent gift cards used to pay for a cruise. Also today, parking fee increase at Port Canaveral. Margaritaville at Sea launches a new unlimited cruise passes. Carnival's Panorama hit by a sudden storm. Crew member reported overboard. Royal Caribbean swap ship deployments and Star of the Seas officially named. That and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. It's going to be a busy show this morning, folks. Today is National Pecan Torte Day. I actually prefer pecan pie to pecan torts, although I'll eat a pecan torte. This day in history. In 1902, President Roosevelt becomes the first president to make a public appearance in an automobile. If you're a podcast person, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net. Or wherever you get your podcast from, just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the fat guy. All right, so we got a special announcement. On Monday, we'll have a special guest, Ladybug Travel. Over the past few years, this lady has turned a passion for travel into a full-time lifestyle. And for the past 300 days, she's been cruising continuously around the world, documenting her journey on TikTok. So I have some questions already set aside for her come Monday. So make sure you join us on Monday. Or if you can't join us, make sure you get to the replay. All right. Gary, Kenneth, I hope you saw the message that I'll get back to you this afternoon. Yesterday it turned out being a troubled day. Many of you are aware of the fact that I had an appointment with the eye doctor. It's been a couple of years since I got new glasses, and at my age, you need to do that regularly. Well, it was time, and I knew that my vision has changed some because I've struggled with certain things. But still, I was figuring a normal exam. Order a new pair of glasses, wait a couple of weeks, I'll get my new glasses. Nice, plain and simple. I wasn't counting on 2 cataracts and macular degeneration. So that kind of smacked me in the head with a 2x4. The cataracts, they're thinking 8 to 12 months until I'll be forced to have surgery. course, I don't even know. I've got to talk to my cardiologist now. Will they even be able to do cataract surgery on the blood with the blood thinners? I don't know. Maybe it makes no difference. But clearly, that's something I'm going to have to talk to them about. Wasn't very excited about that news, folks, I'll have to admit. So the macular degeneration is in its early stages also. We're going to try treating that with medication. Another freaking pill to take. But, oh well. So I talked to Jason, my son Jason, last night, and he says, well, Dad, with eyesight problems, you got to be careful about, running your damn wheelchair off the boat into the water. And I said, yeah, well, that could be a problem. I said, but then, I keep telling him that, if I go down, just feed me to the fishes. I got to feed the sharks. That'd be an easy way. But yeah, and we were teasing, obviously. That's just another thing to deal with. Oh, well. So, it's Monday's interview. It could be interesting. I've watched a little of her stuff. I haven't watched as much as I'd like. I hope to have some time this weekend to watch some of her other stuff on TikTok. She does some TikTok lives, which, she's getting a lot of people on TikTok lives. Who knew? I went through a couple of days that they weren't posting my thing, and then I find out that they had switched my account. There's another Chillie Falls other than me on TikTok. And it has nothing to do with me, but somehow I got over there and uploaded 3 video clips to TikTok videos to the other account, and I was wondering why I wasn't getting any damn views. Well, yeah, I was in the wrong place. I fixed it. So anyway, all right. Got a couple of things to do before we get to this bunch of news. Hot Air Tom, as a matter of fact, that's the only thing. Hopefully, I'll get my computer back tomorrow, because this is literally driving me ding-dong crazy trying to operate with this old, extremely slow, broken down computer. I can't sit in my chair with it on my lap and work because the hinge is broken. And it wasn't worth the money that's why I got the last computer, because it was too much money to try to get the hinge and change out the whole hinge thing. Almost paid for a new computer with that. So anyway, but I have not been, I got some of the stuff from Hot Air Tom loaded. I did not get a chance to go looking for anybody else this morning. So I do apologize over that. So Hot Air Tom, as we last talked to him, he was in Iceland. And I guess he was out looking for icebergs on his way to Greenland. And they did get to Greenland. He got to Qaqortoq. That is the only word in any language that has 3 Q's and no U's. Just thought I'd tell you that. I had trouble downloading. Again, it wasn't Hot Air Tom's fault. He actually sent the stuff twice, and I was having trouble getting it, and then being able to use it was the other thing. So not entirely sure which one's which, but we'll. He does come
So we ended up not being on that blue boat. The first 10 went, and I was 11 or 12. So we got on the first boat, but I was watching it as it came in.
All right. This is their tendering to wherever he was going. I don't know if it actually says where it is. I have not watched the entire thing. It's about 3 minutes long. He's tendering off the pucker. There's his boat in the background. See if I can jump ahead a little bit. That's the celebrity silhouette. They're going to someplace else in Greenland. Looks like he's just filming without. All right, so get back over here to the pictures. That's Cockatook. Took me a while to figure that. Now, these are some like hieroglyphics, I guess you'd call them, that are carved into the side of the thing. And again, I did not have the information. Again, I'm struggling time-wise, folks. But look at the detail of whether you call it hieroglyphics or not, or some kind of rock artwork. I don't know. But look at the detail on that ram's head. That's pretty awesome. And that's the silhouette again back in Cockatook. All right, so then he and Cindy went to the art auction, as they do quite often. And he sent me a picture of Tina Turtle. You know, that's let's see. Or oops, no, the chair gets in the way. How do I do that? Anyway, Tina Turtle's behind me there. So there's a metal painting, I think of, I don't know if you call it a painting. Anyway, it's on metal of Tina Turtle. And he says, "You want to bid on this?" I got a message later. They said it sold for $6,900. I sent him back a message and I said, "I was thinking about the other 69. You want to know the one that has the period before the zeros?" Yeah, I'm not going to spend $6,900 even for Tina Turtle. So, all right, we'll be back with today's news after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. All right, so we're going to start off today with Nestor in the news coming to you from Las Vegas.
Las Vegas tourism took a major hit in June 2025, with visitor volume down 11.3% year-over-year, according to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Convention attendance fell 10.7%, hotel occupancy dropped nearly 10%, and revenue per available room sank 13.8%. The report points to economic uncertainty and weaker consumer confidence, compounded by a lighter convention calendar. In total, about 3.1 million visitors came to Las Vegas in June, a steep decline for the city known as America's entertainment capital. But economic trends aren't the only factor. Rising hotel rates have priced out some middle-class travelers, while international visitors, especially Canadians, are staying away. Mayor Shelley Berkeley said Canadian travel, once a steady stream, has slowed to a drip. Canadian air traffic to Las Vegas is expected to plunge 18.5% in 2025, while Statistics Canada reports a 33% year-over-year drop in June cross-border trips by car. Political factors may also be weighing on travel demand. Industry leaders in the World Travel and Tourism Council have linked U.S. declines to new tariffs, stricter border policies, and shifting global sentiment under the Trump administration. Estimates say the U.S. could lose $12.5 billion in international tourism spending in 2025, with Las Vegas serving as a bellwether for the broader industry. Still, local leaders remain optimistic. "We've had crises, and we have recovered from crises," Association CEO Steve Hill told NBC. "This is just a downturn, not a collapse." A late-night snack turned chaotic on a Carnival cruise when a fight broke out in the Lido marketplace around 2 a.m., reportedly sparked by chicken tenders. Video shared by passenger Mike Terra shows groups of younger cruisers shouting, throwing punches, and tackling one another as cell phones and shoes flew across the crowded dining area. In the clip, a woman can be heard yelling, "Where the F is security?" while one staff member attempts to intervene and another radios for backup. Terra, who filmed the incident, summed up the scene with disbelief. "Over chicken tenders is crazy." Carnival Cruise Line has not yet commented publicly on the situation. It's also currently unclear exactly when and on board which ship the altercation occurred. Carnival has a zero-tolerance stance for fighting and violence, and even if the consequences haven't been shared publicly at this time, they were certainly severe.
Cruise around the world with the Will Model C2. That's the chair that I use. Our chairs will easily fit through accessible cabin doors and can navigate those tight spaces and crowded places. To see if Will may be right for you, click on the link below to schedule a test drive. Just tell them to use code Chillie for all your mobility needs. That's
What began as a sunny port day in Naples turned tragic aboard Marella Voyager when an 83-year-old Scottish man collapsed in the ship's pool and died. The incident occurred shortly after the vessel arrived in Naples, where fellow passengers witnessed the man become disoriented. Despite immediate response from crew members and the onboard medical team, efforts to revive him were unsuccessful. Marella Cruises expressed condolences to the passenger's family, noting its care team is offering support. Local authorities boarded the vessel to conduct an investigation, which confirmed the man died of natural causes. The Marella Voyager was cleared to continue its itinerary, though its departure was delayed from the scheduled 5 p.m. sailing. Two Carnival Cruise Line guests face criminal charges after allegedly booking their vacation with fraudulently obtained gift cards. The pair was arrested by U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers when Carnival Sunrise returned to Port Miami on August 18, 2025. The guests, identified as Rogerio da Cunha Fernandez, 45, and Ida Parada La Paz, 43, had sailed on a 4-night Bahamas cruise that departed Miami on August 14. Authorities allege the two booked their voyage weeks earlier, on July 26, using gift cards purchased with an altered Bolivian bank card at a Winn-Dixie supermarket. A third suspect, Beatriz Paz Roca, 66, who did not sail on the ship, was arrested the same day at a Winn-Dixie store in Doral, Florida. According to the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, the trio is linked to roughly 230 fraudulent transactions. Fernandez and La Paz allegedly received $18,000 from the scheme, while Paz Roca reportedly gained about $12,000. All three suspects have been charged with grand theft and engaging in an organized scheme to defraud. Carnival Sunrise's operations were unaffected, and the ship departed Miami on schedule for its next Caribbean sailing. Cruisers driving to Port Canaveral could soon pay more for parking. Port officials are considering a daily parking rate increase from $17 to $20 per vehicle, effective October 1. If approved, the $3 hike would mark the first parking fee increase at the busy Florida cruise port since 2017, representing a 17.6% jump. At that time, rates rose from $16 to $17 per day. Guests must prepay for parking upon arrival, with full-day fees applied on both embarkation and debarkation days, regardless of arrival or departure time.
Are you planning on a trip to the land of the rising sun in the near future? Scoot Around, powered by Will, is excited to announce that we now have mobility scooters and electric wheelchairs available for rent in select locations across Japan, including major tourist destinations like Tokyo. You can book online today or call Scoot Around at 888-441-7575. Use SRN 11137 or call me at 434-258-9264 for a mobility scooter or power wheelchair in Japan.
Margaritaville at Sea has expanded its Paradise Pass program with 2 new unlimited cruise options available through December 2026. The Silver Pass, starting at $799, offers unlimited 2- and 3-night cruises for 2 guests in an ocean view stateroom, plus perks like casino credits and onboard discounts. The Ultimate Gold Pass, from $1,499, includes sailings up to 7 nights, bigger discounts, $50 casino credits, express pass access, and balcony upgrades for $299. Both passes are valid on Margaritaville at Sea Paradise from Port of Palm Beach and Margaritaville at Sea Islander from Port Tampa Bay. Carnival Panorama encountered a sudden storm in the Gulf of California on Wednesday, briefly tilting as strong winds and rain struck during dinner service. The sharp list lasted about 30 seconds and caused minor onboard damage, including broken glass, water leaks, and temporarily inoperable elevators. Pools and spas were also partially drained. Carnival reported 9 guests were treated for minor injuries, with 2 to receive further evaluation in La Paz. Despite the incident, the 8-night Mexican Riviera sailing is continuing as scheduled. A crew member is missing after reportedly going overboard from Sun Princess yesterday, while the ship was sailing through the Dardanelles Strait en route to Istanbul. Captain Craig Street confirmed the incident, noting CCTV footage verified the fall. Emergency protocols were launched immediately, with search efforts involving local maritime authorities. The crew member has not yet been located, and Princess Cruises is supporting the individual's family. Due to the ongoing search, Sun Princess cancelled its call to Mykonos and will arrive late to Istanbul. Royal Caribbean is adjusting its 2026-2027 lineup by swapping the deployments of Grandeur of the Seas and Jewel of the Seas. Grandeur of the Seas will now sail from Cartagena, Colombia, and Colón, Panama, while Jewel of the Seas takes over itineraries from Tampa and Fort Lauderdale. Guests originally booked on Grandeur from Florida will be automatically moved to Jewel with comparable staterooms and protected pricing. Royal Caribbean is also allowing rebookings across its fleet without penalty. For more information, contact Chillie at chilliefalls@gmail.com. Star of the Seas was officially named in an evening ceremony at Port Canaveral on Wednesday evening. Cruise line executives, Chief Dog Officer Sailor, and Godmother Kelly Girardi were just some of the stars on board. More than 1,300 Royal Caribbean fans tuned in to the livestream to watch the ceremony as it officially launched the ship. Interested in sailing on Star of the Seas? Email chilliefalls@gmail.com. David J. Herrera has exited Norwegian Cruise Line after serving as president since April 2023. Harry Sommer, president and CEO of parent company Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, has stepped in as interim president of the brand. The change comes as Norwegian Cruise Line is poised to launch its 21st ship and expand and enhance its private island in the Bahamas, Great Stirrup Cay. We've extended our discounts on mobility equipment rentals in Orlando and Kissimmee throughout the summer. Save on scooters, wheelchairs, power chairs, and more. These offers are valid for popular locations like Disney World, Universal Studios, and SeaWorld. Orlando mobility rentals are 15% off until August 31st. Just call Scootaround at 1-888-441-7575 and use SRN 11137.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if